Hey gang, let's get started. Today you're going to need a chair and the mat, and we're going to work everything you've got. So we'll start on our hands. We're going to bring our hands onto the chair and walk your legs out so that you're in a turned out position. We're going to go into some rainbow arcs here. First things first, make sure you're lifting off of your elbows, broadening your collarbones, and bring your head back so that it's in line with your spine. Give a gentle nod to the chin, lift again off of those elbows, and from here we're going to start with the right leg. We're going to think about the inner thigh being drawn up by a puppet string, keeping the pelvis neutral, keeping the hips level, and then we are going to arc down, tap the floor to the side of the mat, and arc back up to center. Again, we're going to arc down to the side and bring it back to the center. Keep working on your end as we're holding that position. It can be really easy to kind of lock into the back side of the knee, and we want to make sure for that standing leg that it is working really hard as well. Just send some breath back there. Think about sending broadness across the collarbones. We're going to do one more on the right side and switch to the left. So keep that long reach, bring the right leg all the way down, and when you're ready, we're going to pick up that left side via the inner thigh. So I want you to think about circling that thigh bone and arcing that thigh bone through the pelvis rather than thinking about just the toes drawing a rainbow shape. You really want to keep that organization and keep that focus close to the core the whole time. We're going to do two more here, really keeping breath in the back side of the right leg, keeping collarbones wide, head in line with the spine. This is going to be our last one. Exhale to the side, inhale, bring it up, and with control, float the leg all the way down. Now we're going to go into some side saddle work. So sit on your right hip with your left leg extended long, and your right arm is going to come around the chair for stability. From here, we are going to exhale as we draw the left elbow and the left knee towards one another with length. And then we're going to inhale as we rotate and reach in opposition. Exhale as you draw the knee and elbow toward one another. They don't need to touch. It's the intention of that flexion. Inhale as we unwind and reach. So the whole time we want to think about the crown of the head reaching long, away from the tailbone. Inhale, find breath and length in the spine as we unwind and find that reach. We can pick up the pace a little bit here. So we're going to inhale and exhale. Really get that cardio working while we are sculpting and toning all the way from our hips through our spine, waistline, and our arms as well. That right arm is really active on the chair. And think about that left leg, that femur bone, that thigh bone, really sinking in to the pelvis. So you can feel that rotation happening. Michael's showing us where that femur bone is spiraling inbound as the leg reaches in and extending long. The hamstrings are reaching that leg long as we extend, beautiful, and exhale, absorbing in. Let's go for two more here. Inhale as you reach, exhale as we bring it down. This is the last one. And unwind. Now we're going to flip over and put our forearms onto the chair and walk our legs back into our best plank position. So collarbones are nice and wide, and we're in a closed parallel position. Make sure your hips are in line with your heels and your shoulders. From here, we're going to take the right leg up and back, keep it parallel, and we are just going to trace a small circle with the thigh bone. So we're holding and breathing. And we're drawing that circle. You can think it about maybe the size of a softball. Just a small circle, but really visualize the top of that femur bone swimming through the pelvis. The hips are quiet, collarbones are wide, your heart is reaching between the shoulder blades. And we're here for four more. Find lots of length. This is two. And we're going to bring that right leg all the way down to the floor and step in. Turn around so that your back is to the chair. And we're going to go into a standing lunge. Our right foot is going to be on the chair. So our feet are parallel. And you're going to get the toes flipped under onto the chair. You can wiggle your foot out if you need to give you enough space here. And what we're going to do is bend that standing leg as we bow forward. So we're going to exhale as we bow forward. Both knees are bent a lot. Inhale as we return to standing. This time, let's add the arms. Exhale as we lower down. and inhale as we rise up. It's important to keep that knee just in front of the ankle crease and aligned with big toe, second toe. I like to think about my left hip reaching back and away from my left knee, almost as if you could stretch that thigh bone. So we're inhaling as we raise up, finding length in the spine, and we're exhaling, scissoring the legs apart and thinking about that hip reaching back as we lower down. That's going to help you find the activation through the back side of the leg, and thinking about the inner thighs scissoring apart. That's going to keep you active through the core. So exhale as we lower down, reaching that hip back, gorgeous. Inhale as we rise all the way up. Let's go for one more, just like that. And inhale, rise all the way up and put both feet onto the floor. Now we're going to go into a squat tap with a forward step. So come into first position with your feet, and you want the chair just behind you. We're going to exhale, sitting bones broaden. We're lowering forward so the torso dips forward again into a tap position. Inhale as we come all the way up, right foot comes forward. Keep the torso upright as we lower down. Come back into that first position, and we're going to lower down. You can bring the arms into the story to help increase the cardio. Exhale as we lower down. Inhale as we come up. Exhaling as we lower down. So finding that cadence in your body, the torso stays upright as both knees bend and turn out. And then we're going to allow the torso to tip forward as you lower into that squat. So the idea is to think about sitting back into that chair as we work, but we're not resting in the chair. We're also not just doing a quick tap. It's somewhere in between. We're kind of hovering the seat of our pants or the fabric of our pants as we lower down. Exhaling down. Inhale to bring it up. Sitting bones broaden as the inner thighs spiral forward. And we still want to think about that right hip reaching back, keeping the pelvis neutral. Let's continue working, but we're going to switch to the left side now. So we're going to bring the left leg forward and inhale, rise up. Exhale down. Nice and long the whole time. Torso stays upright as we go into that lunge position. And the torso tips forward, ribs stay in line with the pelvis as we do our squats. Inhaling to rise. Thinking about those knees tracking just in front of the ankles, but behind the toes. Let's go for two more on this left side. And this is going to be our last lunge forward. Torso stays upright. Inhale as we bring it up. Last squat, make it count. Exhale as we lower down. Tap, inhale, and rise all the way up. We're going to bring our right hand onto the chair and come into a nice side plank position. Feet are stacked. We're going to float the left arm up for additional cardio effort. From here, guys, think about that right shoulder blade melting down and around the rib basket to lift off of that shoulder joint. Head is in line with the spine. We're going to float the left leg up. And then on the inhale, we sweep the leg forward with a neutral pelvis. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, sweep that leg forward. Think about lifting off of the wrist and elbow. Exhale as you bring it back. So as we're moving, we want to make sure that we're not aiming for a high leg or a big sweep forward. The idea is to keep the pelvis neutral. That's how we find the core activation. And then we're going to bring the leg back with focus. Really nice. Good. So as we bring it back, the hamstrings deliver the leg forward, and we're bringing the inner thigh connected to the deep core to bring it back. Hold the next one out because we can. And we're going to do a tiny little circle here, really lighting up that glute med, going through that hip. I love that shake. Keep it up. Last 3. Breathing it out. Last 2. So good. And bring both legs all the way down to the floor. We're going to sit down. Doesn't that sound nice? We're going to sit down onto that chair surface and go into some teaser taps. So from here, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to have our feet on the floor to start with. Then we're gonna lean with a flat back. So you wanna feel the abdominals engage straight away. They're kind of catching you here. And then we are going to exhale as we roll the tailbone under us just a little bit and float the legs up into teaser position. If this feels aggressive, you can always use your hands to hold behind your thighs. On the inhale, we're gonna lower the legs down. Notice the torso didn't change position. And then on the exhale, think about the inner thighs connecting to suspender muscles, your psoas, as you bring the legs up. So you can do what works for you. You can do one leg at a time. You can also do two. And we want to think about that connection of those femur heads really sinking in and ideally getting those toes up to the knees. That is a tough ask. That is a big ask. Notice how Michael's keeping his spine quiet as those femur bones, those thigh bones are sinking deeply into the pelvis. Gorgeous. Just a few more here. Think about the outer thighs narrowing as you are working. Hold here. I'm going to ask Michael to show us one leg at a time. So just the right leg lowers down, gorgeous. And then we can bring it up. And then the left leg lowers down. So that's a great modification or option for you while you're working rather than trying to do both legs at a time. Much easier, right? Yeah, not really, but just a great option to do for your body. Let's do one more on the left side and bring both legs down with control. Gorgeous. We're going to flip our chairs around and bring your left hand onto the chair, going into our side leg sweeps on the other side. So we're going to have our left hand on the chair, step your feet out into a side plank position. Feet are stacked to start with, lifting up and off of that shoulder. Shoulder blade melts down and around the rib basket, and you can bring the arm up for additional cardio effort. From here, float the right leg up at a diagonal, and then we're going to crease at the front side of the right hip as the leg sweeps forward and bring it back. Again, it's not about how far that leg travels. Think about sinking deeply into the hip as the leg sweeps forward and holding the hip steady as it moves forward and back. Inhale, finding lots of length as we work. Exhale as we crease forward. So good, really nice. Think about broadening those collarbones as we work, lifting off of the elbow and shoulder and bringing the shoulder blade down. Good. Hold this next one out, and we're going to go into that small circle. So it's important here again to focus on the top of that thigh bone. You can think about like holding a pencil from the wrong end and you're drawing with the eraser rather than with the tip of the pencil. Let's go for two more, smiling it out. We're breathing. And bring both feet down to the mat. Let's go into our squat taps on the other side. This time we're going to do them parallel with our feet 4 inches apart, all 10 toes shining straight forward. We're going to inhale to prepare. Here we go. Let's exhale. Arms come up as we lengthen into that squat. Inhale, rise up, arms lowered down. We're going to use the right leg forward first. Here we go. Arms come up as we lower into that lunge parallel. Beautiful. Inhale, both feet come back together. Let's go into that squat. Exhale, tipping forward, finding length. Inhale, rise up, left foot comes forward. We're going to alternate on this side as we lower down. Inhale, come up, both feet come back together. Let's pick up the pace a bit. Exhale as we lower. Inhale, rise up, right foot. Exhaling down into that lunge. Inhale, 2 feet at the same spot. Exhale, lower into that squat. Inhale, pick it up, left foot. Exhale as we lower down. Keep working, guys. So as we lower and raise, we want to make sure that we're keeping the belt line level. So as we go into the lunge particularly, the hip is going to want to climb up and try to kiss your ribs. Try to keep that space in your body as you're working. These look great, Michael. Think about the arms melting down the back side of the body and the collarbone staying nice and wide. Beautiful. Exhale, reaching for the length with that squat every time. Last time on the right. Exhale as we lower down. So nice. We're going to do a squat here. Yes. Inhale, find that length and that breath. Left leg comes forward as we lower down. Good. Last time. Let's go into one more last beautiful squat. Holding here because we can, because he really wants to. Hover off of that chair by just a few inches. Hold and breathe for 5. Collarbones nice and wide for 4. Think about breath and length for 2. And inhale, gather, rise all the way up. Beautiful job. Let's go into our forearm leg circles on the other side. We're going to bring our forearms onto that chair surface. Step your body back into a beautiful plank, nice diagonal line. Your head should be looking down at your hands rather than cranking up towards The wall in front of you, left leg reaches long behind you, doesn't have to be high. And think about circling from the top of that thigh bone. Make sure you can take a little quick glance at the pelvis, that your hips are level while you're working. And circling from the top of that thigh bone, rather than thinking about the toes doing that circle. Like we did on the other side, we can think about that being approximately the size of a softball, so it's not a teeny tiny circle, but it's also not a great big giant one. Let's go for 4 more here. Find lots of length, lifting the heart between the shoulder blades, drawing the navel up and in the whole time. Last 2. And last one, bring the foot down to the floor, and we're gonna go into our side saddles on the other side. So we'll bring the left hip onto the chair. It's a sweet relief to sit down now, isn't it? And bring that right leg long, left arm goes around the back side of the chair, and we're gonna go into those little bends with the arm. So the arm comes up, and we're gonna exhale as we draw the knee and elbow towards one another. Inhale, find that length, find that unwinding position. Exhale, bring it back in. So we're really rotating through the spine as we open and reach. Exhale as we bring it back in to start. So as we're working on these guys, we want to find that length, and we don't want to crowd the ribs towards the hip. We want to keep the head moving with the spine. So the head is an extension of the spine. The neck is working with that rotation. Inhaling for length. Exhaling as we narrow around the waistline to bring the body towards the elbow and the knee. Good. Let's go for 3 more here. Inhaling to reach and rotate. Exhale, bring it back in. This is 2. And this is going to be our last one. And bring it all the way up. All right, now we're going to kneel on the chair and go into some lateral work with that right leg. So bring your knees onto the chair surface, closed parallel position, and you can have your hands on the back of the chair for stability. We're going to pattern between a bent leg and a straight leg here. So we're going to start with a bent leg. Give your torso a little tip forward. You can even bend the elbows a tiny bit if you would like to. And we're going to float the bent right leg out to the side for a lateral raise. And then we're going to lower it down. And then we're going to reach a straight right leg out to the side and then bring it down. Bent leg again. Creasing at the hip, bring it down. And long left leg off to the side. So as we're working, you want to keep your weight as centered as possible. That's how you're going to connect to the core. If you're dumping into that left hip and kind of leaning towards the side, you're going to get a lot of effort through that hip and check out of the midsection of the body. Good, beautiful. And as we lift, I want you to think about this crease at the edge of the hip. Rather than thinking about how high your knee or your foot goes, that's not the goal. The idea is really to sink the femur head deeply into the hip socket so that you can feel that connection from the right hip across to the left shoulder girdle and waistline. And the leg extends long on an inhale and bring it all the way back in. All right, we're going to be down on the floor now, going into an abdominal roll down. But we're going to take our legs outside of the chair today, and that's going to help us connect to the midline of the body. So you actually want to feel your body intentioning in on the chair. You'll feel the inner thighs activate, and then that activates the low belly. We're going to plug the arms into the middle back. First things first, roll the tailbone under you. Then we're going to round through the low back. We're going to go through the middle back, the upper back, and hands come all the way up to the sky. Think about your head like a hammock, inhaling, finding the deep neck flexors going down into the deep abdominals. Then we're going to exhale and come all the way back up to seated. We're going to lengthen back with a long line, slowly rolling down from under the tailbone and all the way down onto the mat. Good. Think about that inhale as you lengthen the spine and hover the head off of the mat. So often that can be something that stresses the neck. But if you think about your body like a hammock or like a beach towel gliding from under the neck every time you pick your head up off the floor, that's going to connect the deep neck flexors all the way down into the deep abdominals, giving support and strength as you condition and tone the core without putting any tension onto the neck. Let's go for 2 more here. Thinking about that inhale, really reach. Then the exhale turns your spine like gear wheels to come all the way up to seated tall. Good. We're keeping the arms plugged into the middle back. Did you forget about those legs? Make sure you have the inner thighs. Beautiful. Nice adjustment connecting to that chair. That's how we find the support and work head to toe. And we're going to hold the last one halfway down. Hold and breathe. Find that length. Find that hammock sensation. So good. For 3, for 2, and with control, slowly lower your body all the way back down onto the mat. Stay here on your back. We're going to go into some elevator extensions. So we're going to lay on our back. Hands are going to interlace like this, hammocking the weight of your head. From here, we're going to hold that abdominal curl, and then we're going to float the legs into a tabletop position. Your toes should be above the chair. Tailbone is heavy. We're going to exhale, draw the knees towards the chest. Inhale, legs extend under the chair. Exhale, knees draw in, pelvis stays neutral. Inhale, legs extend above. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale as they extend. You can think about the psoas muscles working with the hamstrings to extend the legs, and they're working with the inner thighs to bring it in. Thinking about the outer thighs magnetizing while we work, holding that long line, holding that neutral pelvis. You might have a little shake going on. That works for me. Beautiful job. Again, we're thinking about that length in the spine, the hammocking of the head. Hamstrings deliver the legs, and then the inner thighs draw it in with connection to the deep abdominal muscles. It's those psoas suspenders lengthening and drawing the legs in. We're going to relax the feet and keep the front side of the ankles open rather than going for a really strong toe point. Good. Inhale as you extend, magnetize the outer thighs. This is the last time below the chair. Beautiful job. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, hold and breathe for 5. Hold and breathe for 4. Really think about the hamstrings working with the abs to hold the legs and bring them down. Nice job. All right, let's go into a bridge here using the chair as a place to elevate our legs. So we're going to stay with our back on the floor, but we're going to bring our feet onto the chair surface. Make sure you're pressing your feet down on the chair rather than pushing away from it. Arms are active in the floor, shoulder blades melt down the spine. Here we go. We're going to pick up in a hinge. Inhale, knees reach long away from you at a diagonal. Think about the glutes lifting the pelvis, opening the front side of the hips. Now we're going to melt down from behind the heart, elongating the body, engaging the deep abdominals to set us down. We don't want this to feel just like a hamstring grip on the back side of the legs. I want you to really find that length. Lift up in a hinge, reaching long. Keep the booty lifted as long as you can, melting from behind the heart first. You'll feel the abdominals really activate as we melt all the way to the floor. Keep working, picking up in a hinge. If you want extra challenge through the back side of the body, you can always float the arms up, or you can keep them down, activating the arms into the mat. Whatever works for you today works for me. On this next one, we're going to tip to the side, massaging the spine and working the waistline. So we're going to tip the hip to the right. So now the pelvis is tipped, the shoulders are square, and we're going to roll down along the right side of the spine, finding that length as we rotate. At the bottom, let's center it out. We're going to pick it up into that bridge, and we're going to tip the pelvis to the left this time, curling from behind the heart. Same range of movement, lengthening the spine as we lower down, starting to pick up some heat on the back side of those legs as well. Center it at the bottom, pick it up in a hinge. Last time, tipped to the right. Nice long spine narrowing through the waistline as we exhale and roll all the way to the floor. Unwind to center. We're going to pick it up in that hinge position. Arms are down or up. It's up to you. Left hip tips down and lengthen as we curl to the floor, all the way down, and unwind. All right, we're going to come up here and go into that little side leg lift with the bend and the straight leg on the left. So this time, the right knee is going to stay on the chair. We start with the legs closed parallel. You can have a little bend to the elbows, a little torso tip forward, and we're going to do a little side bend, lateral raise out to the side, bring it back through center, and then the left leg reaches straight. Bring it back in with the knee bent, and we're going to keep the knee bent to lift out to the side for this next one, and switch to a straight leg next. So as we're working, we're not just focusing through that left hip. I want you to really think about keeping your weight centered. Try not to lean to the right very far at all. You're going to shift a little bit. That's okay. Keep it as centered as possible to help us find that core connection as we're toning, strengthening, and adding flexibility through the hips. Nice long line as we work, keeping that weight shift as small as possible. Finding that navel drawing up and in between the shoulder blades as we work the whole time. So as the legs are moving, we don't want to just lose that core connection. We want to find the navel drawing up and in between the shoulder blades. So it's this diagonal sensation that we're drawing up and in. We're finding our heart between the shoulder blades, lifting and broadening the collarbones. Let's do one more set. So we're going to add one more where we have the knee bent. And this will be the last one with the leg long, inhaling to reach. Exhale, bring it back in, and we're going to turn it around, going into a downhill ski with our feet on the chair. So again, little safety note, make sure your feet are pressing down rather than away from you. Hands come onto the edge of the mat. You want to bring both feet onto the center of the chair. Hands are shoulder width distance, and we're in a closed parallel position with our feet and knees. Find your best plank here. Lift the heart between the shoulder blades. Straight away, we're going to exhale, dip the knees to the left as the pelvis reaches to the right, and shift your weight back. That's an exhale. Inhale, bring it back out to your plank. And exhale, now we're tipping the knees to the right. So we are rotating, narrowing through the waistline, challenging our body by elevating the feet and really holding an intense plank in between. We exhale as we crease to the back. Inhale forward. As we're working, we really want to think about that heart lifting between the shoulder blades rather than winging out. We want to try not to let the shoulder blades wing out. We want to find length every time we inhale with length as we go through the center. As we exhale, think about the waistline narrowing around your spine while you're working. The sitting bones are broadening. Exhale wide, inhale long. Last time as we draw it to the right, knees to the left. Inhale through center. Last time to the opposite side. Exhale as we rotate. Inhale through center. Walk one foot down to the floor at a time. Beautiful job. All right, guys, I have very good news. You've made it. You thought you weren't going to, but you totally did. Come onto your feet. We're going to go into a side stretch. Left foot is going to go onto the chair. Right foot stands on the mat in turn out. And we're going to bring the left arm down and the right arm up and over. It is a simple but super effective way to stretch through the body. So straight away, you should feel a nice long stretch through the side body and really an intense stretch through that left inner thigh. So we're just going to take a nice inhale here, fanning the ribs. Exhale, think about narrowing around the spine as we're holding. And go ahead and unwind. Let's go into our cat-cow. We're going to do it in a squat today. So we're going to use that chair, and our feet are in a closed parallel position. We're going to hold a squat position so we're really active while we stretch. We're going to exhale as we round the spine. Inhale as we unwind, gazing forward, opening the heart, opening the shoulders. Exhale, lift from under the ribs as you round. Keep weight in the heels and the balls of the feet. Inhale as we gaze forward. We're going to do one more of those, guys. Exhale as you curl and arc. Inhale as we gaze forward. Come on up. We're going to go into that side stretch on the other side. So you want to bring your right foot onto the chair and the left foot is on the mat in turn out. Right hand stays on the hip, and then we're going to bring the left arm up and over, stretching through the side body. So you want to feel that nice fanning open sensation of the ribs. Try to keep length on the side. We're just going to hold that pose there. Think about that breath in the backside of the standing knee. So we want to make sure we're not just locking out into that joint. Take a nice breath here and go ahead and come all the way up. Last thing we're going to do is a child's pose with our hands on the chair. And this is going to help us to really open our upper back and help us find some relief from tension where we often hold it in our shoulders. So your knees are nice and wide, big toes are touching. Hands come up onto the chair, and we're going to sink the hips back towards the heels. Take a nice deep breath here. Think about releasing through the upper back, releasing through the shoulders. You can think about broadening the collarbones with every inhale. And go ahead and rise up and out of that. We did it. I'm so proud of you for working so hard. Have an amazing day.